The Sovereign floated silently in the emptiness of space, its metallic hull reflecting the dim light of distant stars. Captain Alex Reed stared intently at the glowing screen in front of him, where a distress signal crackled with static. It was the first time in years that such a signal had crossed their path. The encoded message, riddled with alien characters and punctuated by a haunting warning, echoed ominously. "Human ships are not what they seem." Lieutenant Marachin, seated beside him at the communications console, furrowed her brow as she decoded the message. The soft hum of the ship's engines was the only sound breaking the tension in the bridge. Her fingers danced over the control panel, her expression a mask of concentration. "Captain," Mara said, her voice steady but edged with concern. "This signal is not just a cry for help. It's a warning, something about our ships. I've never seen encryption like this before." Alex leaned closer to the console, his sharp blue eyes scanning the deciphered text. "So they know something about us that we don't. Perfect. Just what we need, another mystery to unravel." The station they were heading towards, located on the fringes of known space, was infamous for its secrecy. Rumors suggested that it had been involved in controversial research that might explain why their ship's unique design had attracted so much attention. Alex's gut told him this was more than a simple salvage operation. "Mara, run a full scan of the area," Alex ordered, his voice carrying the weight of authority. "I want to know if there's anything else we should be wary of before we dock." Mara's fingers moved quickly over the controls. "Scanning now. There's something off about this place. The station's life support systems are barely functioning, but there's still power, enough to suggest recent activity." The ship's lights flickered as the Sovereign adjusted its course towards the station's docking bay. The vast, cold emptiness of space outside seemed to press in, amplifying the unease that had settled over the crew. As they approached, the station came into view, a massive, hulking structure with a derelict appearance. Its once pristine exterior was marred by dents and scars, a testament to its tumultuous past. The docking bay doors creaked open reluctantly, revealing an interior dimly lit by emergency lights. Alex gave Mara a nod. "Suit up. We're going in." The air inside the station was musty and stale, carrying a faint metallic tang. Their boots echoed against the metallic floors as they made their way through the labyrinthine corridors. Every corner held shadows, and every shadow seemed to whisper secrets of what had transpired here. "This place is a ghost town," Mara murmured. "Whatever happened, it left no survivors. But why send a distress signal? And why now?" Before Alex could respond, a sudden hiss filled the air, a door opening on its own, revealing a control room cluttered with outdated equipment. The flicker of malfunctioning screens painted erratic patterns on the walls. The room seemed to pulse with an eerie energy, as if the station itself was alive and waiting. Alex's gaze swept over the room. "We need to find out what they were working on. Whatever it is, it's connected to the warning we received. Let's see if we can uncover the truth." As they stepped further into the room, a sense of foreboding deepened. The room's dim light revealed a series of cryptic symbols on the walls, hinting at technologies far beyond their understanding. The mystery of the abandoned station was only beginning to unfold, and Alex knew that unraveling it would test every ounce of his skills and courage. With each step, the tension built, weaving a web of intrigue and danger. The secrets of the station, and the warning it carried, loomed ahead, promising revelations that would challenge their understanding of both their enemies and themselves. The Sovereign's crew braced for the unknown, their resolve hardening as they prepared to delve deeper into the heart of the mystery. Captain Alex Reed's boots clanked against the metal flooring as he and Lieutenant Marachin ventured deeper into the station's control room. The dim glow of malfunctioning lights cast eerie shadows across the walls, flickering sporadically and accentuating the room's abandoned, forlorn atmosphere. Mara's fingers danced over the console, her face illuminated by the pale light of her screen. "I'm picking up something," she said, her tone edged with intrigue. "It looks like a data archive, but it's heavily encrypted." Alex approached the console, his sharp blue eyes scanning the encrypted lines. "Let's break it down. Whatever secrets this place holds, we need to get to them fast. Mara nodded and began working on the decryption. Her brow furrowed in concentration. The encryption is layered. It's sophisticated, designed to prevent unauthorized access. Whoever built this didn't want anyone finding out. As Mara delved into the data, Alex inspected the room. Old research papers and strange devices littered the desks, their purpose unclear. One device, resembling an intricate lattice of wires and glass, emitted a soft, pulsating hum. The station seemed to hum in response, a low vibration that resonated through the floor. The tech here is unlike anything I've seen, Alex commented, running a gloved hand over the device. It's advanced, but there's something unsettling about it. Mara glanced up, her eyes reflecting concern. Captain, I'm getting something unusual. The data seems to reference a human technology that's described as... She hesitated, her fingers pausing over the keys. Unprecedented. Before Alex could respond, a sudden clang echoed through the corridor, followed by hurried footsteps. Both of them tensed, their hands instinctively moving towards their weapons. Did you hear that? Alex whispered. Mara's eyes narrowed. Yes. It could be someone else on the station. The footsteps grew louder, and a shadow moved across the doorway. Alex gestured for silence, and both crouched behind a console. The tension was palpable, the air thick with anticipation. The door to the control room slid open with a hiss, revealing a figure in a dark, tattered uniform. The intruder's face was obscured by a helmet, and they moved with a predatory grace, scanning the room with a cold, calculating gaze. Alex's heart raced as he recognized the insignia on the uniform, a symbol associated with a notorious alien faction known for its covert operations and ruthless efficiency. Mara's whisper was almost inaudible. That's a Zephyrin operative. They're not supposed to be here. Alex's mind raced. The Zephyrin had a reputation for eliminating anything that posed a threat to their plans. If they were here, it meant the stakes were higher than they'd imagined. Stay low, Alex instructed, his voice a harsh whisper. We need to get out of sight and find out what they're after. The Zephyrin operative continued to search the room, their movements methodical. Alex and Mara remained hidden, barely breathing as they watched the intruder's every move. The operative approached the data console and began manipulating the controls with practiced efficiency. Whatever they're doing, they're looking for the same thing we are, Mara said, her voice tight with urgency. Alex nodded. We need to act fast. If they get what they want, we might not have another chance to uncover the truth. With a quick, decisive motion, Alex tapped Mara's shoulder, signaling her to follow. They edged their way toward an access hatch in the rear of the room, their movements deliberate and silent. As they slipped through the hatch, Alex cast one last glance back at the control room. The Zephyrin operative was still engrossed in the data, unaware of their escape. The passageway they entered was dark and cramped, the only light coming from the flickering emergency lights. As they moved further into the station's labyrinth, Alex's thoughts raced. The Zephyrins' presence added a dangerous new layer to their mission. Whoever was behind this station had powerful enemies, and it was clear that Alex and Mara were caught in a much larger conflict than they'd anticipated. The corridors twisted and turned, leading them deeper into the station's heart. The sense of urgency intensified with each step. They needed answers, and they needed them before it was too late. The corridors of the station seemed to twist and turn endlessly, their metallic walls reflecting the dim, flickering lights. Captain Alex Reed and Lieutenant Mara Chin moved with deliberate speed, their footsteps echoing in the confined space. The sense of urgency was palpable, each shadow and creak adding to their mounting tension. We need to find a place to regroup and assess what we've discovered, Alex said, his voice a low rumble. The Zephyrin operative's presence complicates things. We can't afford any more surprises. Mara nodded, her eyes scanning the darkened hallway. Agreed. Let's see if we can access the station's central database. It might hold more information about the research they were conducting. As they navigated through a series of intersecting passages, Alex's mind raced. The Zephyrins' sudden appearance was more than just a nuisance. it was a potential threat to their mission and their lives. He needed answers quickly, both to understand the nature of the station's research and to stay one step ahead of their enemies. Mara stopped abruptly, holding up a hand. This junction might lead to the central hub. If we're lucky, we'll find a control room there. Alex followed her gaze to a set of heavy doors, marked with faded hazard symbols. They looked ancient but intact, suggesting they hadn't been used in years. Let's check it out. They approached cautiously, their weapons drawn. The doors slid open with a reluctant hiss, revealing a large, dimly lit room. The air was thick with dust, and the once pristine consoles were now covered in grime and cobwebs. Despite the neglect, the room still hummed with a faint, otherworldly energy. Mara stepped forward, her eyes lighting up with recognition. This is it, the central control hub. If there's any data left, it'll be here. Alex moved to a nearby console, its surface coated with a thin layer of dust. As he wiped it away, a soft glow illuminated the screen, revealing a complex array of data and security protocols. Let's see what we can uncover. Mara connected her portable terminal to the console, initiating a series of decryption algorithms. Her fingers flew over the keys, navigating through layers of encryption. This is going to take a few minutes. The data is heavily protected. Alex kept watch, his senses on high alert. The station's silence was unsettling, broken only by the soft hum of the console and the occasional clink of debris falling from the overhead vents. The Zephyrin operative's presence still weighed heavily on him, a reminder of the looming danger. As Mara worked, Alex's gaze wandered around the room. Strange symbols and diagrams adorned the walls, hinting at advanced technology and research. One diagram, in particular, caught his eye, a schematic of a device that appeared to be a power core, its design both intricate and alien. Mara, check this out, Alex called, pointing to the diagram. Does this look familiar to you? Mara glanced up, her eyes widening as she examined the schematic. It's similar to some energy technology we've seen in classified reports, but this is far more advanced. It's almost like they were trying to harness some sort of exotic energy. A sudden, loud clang from the corridor jolted both of them. Alex's hand tightened on his weapon. We've been compromised. We need to finish this quickly. Mara's fingers flew across the terminal, the screen scrolling rapidly as she bypassed the last of the security measures. Almost there. Just a bit more. The door to the control room creaked open, and a figure stepped inside, a Zephyrin operative, their helmet gleaming ominously in the low light. Alex's heart pounded. They had been discovered. Captain? Mara shouted, her voice strained. I'm almost done with the decryption. Alex took a defensive stance, his weapon aimed at the intruder. Get the data and let's move! The Zephyrin operative advanced slowly, their movements calculated. You're too late, humans. The operative's voice echoed through the helmet's speaker. This station's secrets will die with us. Mara's terminal beeped, indicating a successful decryption. Got it. We have the data. Fall back. Alex commanded, his voice firm. We need to get out of here now. They turned and sprinted towards the nearest exit, the Zephyrin operative in pursuit. The corridors seemed to stretch endlessly, their only guide the flashing red lights signaling the station's emergency protocols. Alex and Mara's breath came in ragged gasps as they raced against time and fate. As they rounded a corner, Alex could see the docking bay in the distance. The Sovereign's lights gleamed invitingly. They pushed forward, their determination unshaken despite the danger. With one final burst of speed, they reached the ship and quickly boarded. Alex activated the launch sequence while Mara secured the data and prepared for takeoff. As the Sovereign pulled away from the station, Alex glanced back at the fading structure. The station's secrets remained hidden for now, but the data they had retrieved promised revelations that could change everything. With the Zephyrin threat temporarily behind them, Alex and Mara prepared for the journey ahead. The real challenge was just beginning, and the answers they sought were waiting in the data they had secured. The Sovereign cruised silently through the void, its sleek hull reflecting the distant starlight. Captain Alex Reed and Lieutenant Mara Chin were ensconced in the ship's command center, surrounded by holographic displays that flickered with data from their recent mission. The air was tense, charged with the gravity of their discovery and the looming threat of the Zephyrin. Alex leaned over the central console, studying the decrypted data. The information was dense and technical, interspersed with alien schematics and cryptic notes. Mara, can you make sense of this? Mara, seated at a secondary terminal, tapped her fingers across the holographic keyboard. Her face, illuminated by the soft blue glow, was set in a determined expression. I'm analyzing the core data now. It's clear the Zephyrin were interested in this energy technology. They were trying to develop a weapon. Alex's brow furrowed. A weapon? That would explain their interest in the station. But why target a research facility dedicated to this energy core? Mara's eyes narrowed as she sifted through the information. It seems like they were trying to reverse engineer the technology. If they succeeded, it could potentially give them a massive strategic advantage. The tension in the room heightened as Alex absorbed the implications. We need to take this to command. If the Zephyrin get their hands on this technology, it could tip the balance in their favor. Just then, the ship's alarm blared, breaking the oppressive silence. A red warning light flashed, indicating an incoming transmission. Alex and Mara exchanged concerned glances. Patch it through, Alex ordered. The screen flickered to life, revealing Admiral Roberts, a stern figure with a weathered face. Captain Reed, Lieutenant Chin. We've been monitoring your situation. What's the status? Alex stepped forward, his voice steady despite the urgency. Admiral, we've secured crucial data from the research station. The Zephyrin were attempting to weaponize an advanced energy technology. We need to bring this information back immediately. Robert's expression hardened. Understood. But be aware, intelligence reports suggest the Zephyrin are ramping up their operations. They might already be preparing to deploy their newly acquired technology. Mara's face went pale. They could strike at any moment. The Admiral nodded gravely. Precisely. I'm sending you coordinates for a secure relay station where you can upload the data. You'll be provided with additional support to ensure the information reaches command safely. Alex acknowledged with a curt nod. We'll head there immediately. As the transmission ended, Alex and Mara prepared for their next move. The coordinates led them to a remote sector of space, far from the nearest star system. The Sovereign adjusted its course, the engines humming softly as they engaged the faster-than-light drive. The journey through hyperspace was uneventful, but the growing sense of urgency weighed heavily on Alex. Every moment spent in transit was a potential risk to galactic security. He paced the command center, the data they carried like a ticking time bomb. Mara's voice broke the silence. Captain, we're approaching the relay station. Alex moved to the viewport, watching as the distant, flickering signal of the relay station came into view. It was an old, but secure installation, its exterior marked with the emblem of the Galactic Council. The Sovereign docked smoothly, and Alex and Mara disembarked into the station's sterile environment. The relay station was a compact structure, filled with advanced communication equipment, and a handful of personnel. They were greeted by Commander Ellis, a grizzled officer with a no-nonsense demeanor. Captain Reed, Lieutenant Chin. I've been briefed on your mission. Let's get that data uploaded. As Mara connected the portable terminal to the station's mainframe, Alex kept a vigilant watch. The upload process began, the data streaming through the connection with a rhythmic hum. A sudden tremor rocked the station, sending a shudder through the walls. The lights flickered, and alarms blared. Alex's heart raced as he saw the concerned expressions on the relay station staff. What's happening? Alex demanded. Commander Ellis's face turned grim. We've detected an incoming Zephyrin attack. They must have tracked you here. Mara's eyes widened as she glanced at the progress bar on her terminal. The upload isn't complete yet. If we lose the data... Alex's mind raced. We need to buy time. Ellis, how long until the station's defenses are operational? 20 minutes at best, Ellis replied, his voice tense. If we can hold off the Zephyrin, we might be able to complete the upload. Alex nodded, determination hardening his features. We'll defend this station. Mara, finish the upload. I'll help with the defense. As Alex and Ellis prepared the station's defense systems, Mara worked furiously to complete the upload. The hum of the communication equipment mingled with the distant roar of approaching ships. The Zephyr's assault began with a barrage of energy blasts that shook the relay station. Alex and Ellis coordinated the defense, their efforts a flurry of activity amidst the chaos. Alex's tactical training and quick thinking kept the station's defenses active, while Ellis's experience provided invaluable guidance. As the upload neared completion, Mara's face was etched with relief. Almost there, just a few more seconds. A final wave of energy blasts struck the station, and the lights flickered violently. Alex fought to keep his focus as he held off the Zephyr attackers, his mind focused on the critical moment of the upload. With a triumphant beep, the upload completed. Mara let out a relieved breath as the data was safely transmitted. The station's defenses, bolstered by their last-minute efforts, repelled the Zephyr attack. The enemy forces withdrew, their retreat marked by a sudden silence. Alex exhaled deeply, the tension draining from his shoulders. We did it! The data is secure. Commander Ellis clapped him on the shoulder, his expression a mix of exhaustion and gratitude. Well done, Captain! We'll make sure Command receives this information and takes the necessary action. As the relay station settled into a tense calm, Alex and Mara prepared to return to the Sovereign. The immediate threat had been averted, but the battle for the future was far from over. The data they had secured was a crucial piece of the puzzle, and their journey was just beginning.